What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Universal Mastery. Welcome back to my public channel where I break down the occult sciences and I break them down to a very practical degree so that you can simply use them and apply them in your day-to-day life and get real, actual results with exactly what it is that I'm teaching here, simply by applying your observation and awareness, okay? Let me also give you a little bit of a perspective on who I am, just so that you know who you're getting this information from, because obviously that's going to be very important, especially when it comes to psychic self-development, okay? My name is Jeremiah Schwartz. I am a professional occultist. I am fully initiated in the entirety of the Kabbalistic tree. I'm studied when it comes to the 22 major arcana of the tarot deck, and I'm also studied when it comes to planets in association with astrology, okay? What is the topic of our today's video? We are going to be talking about shadow people, okay? So I was recently on a call with a client, and if you're listening to this, you know who you are, and we were talking about shadow people. Specifically, this person said, hey, you know, it seems like ever since I got into the occult, specifically seems like the darker side of it, I started noticing I was seeing shadows. Sort of like these dark images that appear in the peripheral, and it's kind of hard to really recognize exactly what they look like. They take on different forms, different images, but there's definitely these like little shadows or these little dark things that are in my vision that sort of follow me, and I can notice it, and sometimes I can even look at it and I can see it, and then other times it kind of just moves around and it disappears, okay? So this is what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to be discussing what these things are, what they could be, and what this really means in regards to your personal evolutionary process, okay? If this is something that you're interested in learning a little bit more about, then definitely stay tuned. Okay, so let's go into it. So, shadow people, okay? So you may be here right now listening to this, and you may be thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I am so glad you're covering this topic right now because I've literally noticed the exact same thing. It's like as soon as I got into the occult and I started practicing, specifically like doing rituals, specifically like doing invocations, and even things like doing spell work that are negatively polarized in nature, like controlling somebody, trying to have sex with somebody in regards to energetic manipulation, things in that nature, or trying to use psychic warfare, cursing somebody. Okay, so if you've done any of these things that I mentioned, and then shortly after you started noticing, you start seeing these little dark things in your peripheral, like right outside of your vision or sometimes directly in your vision, and you don't know what they are, and it's kind of making you think, am I going crazy? Is this normal? Did I do something wrong? Some people probably have gone to the doctors and have asked their doctors, you know, I'm seeing this thing in my eyes. Is there something wrong with my eyes? Is there something happening to my neural chemistry? Is there something going on with my brain? What's happening? Why am I seeing this? And I will tell you that this is something that is extremely common, specifically for people that are pursuing the negative polarity. Okay, so once again, the negative polarity is the path of the black magician. Okay, and there are people that experience this phenomena and they don't even know that they're doing negatively polarized practices or they're thinking in a negatively polarized way, which is the service to the self. Okay, it's the path of building an empire, things in that nature. If you want to know more about the polarities, I have a YouTube video that covers that in very much depth, okay? So once again, this is very common. There are a lot of people that experience this. I myself experienced this, and I have experienced this, and actually, to be quite honest with you, I've experienced this before I was even in consciously to the occult. Okay, so before I was even doing structured occult practices and getting my hands and feet wet, I was experiencing this phenomena, and the way that I triggered it into my life, I personally believe, was through drug use. I did it, I would smoke a lot of weed. I had a problem with prescription pills a long time ago, many years ago. I was hanging out with the wrong types of people, and I personally believe that I opened up some doorways into my life that brought in, let's just say, demonic influence or dark energy influence. Okay? Now, what I'm not going to do here is I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say, okay, so now that you're experiencing this type of phenomena, you need to go see your local priest, you need to perform an exorcism, you need to do a banishing rite, you need to run away, we need to figure out how to end the curse, okay? I'm not going to be speaking on any of those things because I personally do not think that is a proper approach. I personally don't think that anything happens for no reason. I think things happen for a reason, and I think fear should most of the times be used as a compass, and whatever it is that you fear the most, I think those are the things that should be embraced to the deepest degree, and ultimately transmute those things into knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and power. So if you're someone who's opened up these doorways into your life, and now you're experiencing shadow people, or you're experiencing dark images out the corners of your eyes, or right in front of you, this is not something that is unbeneficial in nature. This is something that you can turn into your advantage. Okay, truly, this is something that as you evolve on the path that you're on with the negative polarity, and you become more conscious of what it is that you're actually doing, you can start grabbing the reins of the experience and once again having the experience serve yourself. Okay? So in the beginning stages, a lot of people think when they start seeing these images, they think there are entities, specifically demons, that are attacking them, giving them nightmares, causing bad situations in their life to manifest, taking their energy, you name it. And you actually may be experiencing those things. I'm not going to sit here and say that these things don't happen, and that I'm not going to sit here and say that that isn't an option, because 100% it can be. But that is only an option when you're resisting the path that you've opened up. Let me say that one more time. That is only an option, getting attacked by these shadow forces on a soul and spiritual level, when you've already opened up the doorways that you've opened up, and you're now resisting the path that you've opened up. So once again, to understand where you are and to understand what you're headed to on a spiritual level or even an intuitive level is so absolutely key to get the most out of your life experience. So let me give you an example. If I jump into the water, let's say I jump into the ocean, and I have raw meat with me, real raw meat, blood in the water. Because I'm now in the ocean and there is raw meat right next to me, I can expect to see a shark. I can expect some sort of predatory amphibious creature to swim up to where I am, because I know what I'm holding next to me or what's around me is what they feed on. It's what they want. It's what they eat. It's what they eat to survive. It's a part of their nature. So if I'm in the water with red meat and a shark shows up, I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be afraid even, because I know what I'm getting myself into. So at that point, I should just accept where I'm at. I should observe the experience, and honestly, in that moment, I know that this is an intense example, but in that moment, since you've already opened yourself up to the experience, the best thing you can do is not panic, not freak out, and just observe what is going to happen next. Now, obviously, hopefully you wouldn't be right next to the meat so you don't get attacked by the shark. Maybe swim a little bit farther away and then watch the meat and then watch the shark show up and have a really cool observation because you're so close. But once again, this is just an example that I'm giving. This is obviously, I know this is an extreme example, this is an intense example, and it's not necessarily as extreme in the reality of this situation that we're talking about. But this example is important because, once again, when you open up these doorways for dark energy influence, you can't panic and you can't be afraid when dark entities start influencing your life. You were the one that opened up the doorway. I don't care if you did it consciously or if you did it subconsciously or unconsciously. The fact of the matter is that the doorway's opened, and the only way that it could have opened was by your doing. So you have to take responsibility on that level. Now, once again, if you start to understand who you are and what you are, and you start to really allow yourself to gravitate towards what feels truly right for you, now you can start turning this dark energy into your power. So in the beginning stages, when I would see these shadow figures in my peripheral or in the world around me, I remember thinking that there was demons around me that were doing unfortunate things in my life, okay? What I realized is that I didn't know how to get rid of these things. I didn't know how to remove them. I tried to do certain types of things that I thought would get rid of the influence, but the influence remained no matter what I did. It may go away for a certain period of time, but then it came back. So what I started to do within myself is I started to find acceptance. I started to realize more so of that source principle that nothing happens for no reason. I'm here for a reason. These things are here for a reason. Now I have to learn how to accept it, and I have to learn now that I'm accepting it, how to understand it. Okay, and this is one of the biggest keys. Now, as I accepted these darker energies in my environment and around my being, I started to gain knowledge over time. I started to shift my own perception of these beings into a perception of these things aren't hurting me, these things are not harming me, these things are serving me, these things are helping me, these things are empowering me. That's why they're there. That's why they're allowed to be in my life. That makes sense now. And this isn't some random delusion that I had to change my mind into. This is something that came first from acceptance. And then from acceptance, once again, there was more understanding. And then from understanding, there came knowledge. And now, where I'm at, and when I see these dark energies, I have a full knowing. It's not even a sliver. It's a full knowing that these are things that I've commanded into my life to basically do my bidding, to serve me completely and utterly. Okay? And it's very important to understand your potential. And once again, it's very important to not let fear control your life. Because there are so many people that are running around like headless chickens, trying to find the next spell, trying to find the next technique, trying to find the next words to say, to get rid of what is in their life. But really, if they were being honest with themselves on that deeper level, they invited what they have in their life to themselves. And if you invite something, you welcome it, you accept it, you understand it, and then ultimately, in this case, you can use it to your benefit. Okay, so there are so many people that are teaching, you need to do this thing, you need to say these words, you need to, purchase all these products to get rid of the influence, when I'm telling you right now, first of all, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's meant to happen. It happened for a reason. You brought it, you literally invited it into your life. So it's not a bad or a wrong thing. And with that being said, it is now your responsibility, that's the word I want to use, to start this process of initiation, or start this process of evolutionary growth, so that you can understand what you've brought into your own life, rather than playing the role of everybody else and saying, oh no, I'm the victim, I didn't want to do it, I don't know how it happened, somebody made me do this and now I'm experiencing this. No, nobody made you do anything. You brought everything into your own experience. It's all happening through your unconscious mind. You're connected to the all. On some level, it's all this big program, and you know exactly what is meant to be generated in your life experience. There's nothing you don't actually know about. You just may not be fully conscious of these things yet. So accept it. Take that responsibility and then turn it into your power. Do not let fear control you. Now, once again, specifically, this, as I said, happens on the negative polarity. And to go a little bit deeper with this type of phenomenon with shadow people, these are also what are known as familiars for people who are in the process of becoming black magicians. These are what are known as familiars for people walking the negatively polarized path. These literally are dark energies, entities that are able to project themselves energetically into your experience, your life experience, through your energetic resonance. And these entities are truly meant to serve you. That's literally what a familiar is. It's an energy that you recognize, and it's an energy that you have resonance with on a soul level. So based on your intentions throughout your day, your intentions emanate. So you may not understand what I'm saying right now, but whatever it is that's playing in your head, whatever it is that you're intending on a daily basis, there is a literal number frequency. There's a vibration. There's patterns that are leaving your energy body and leaving your energy field. And those patterns are communicating with all the other energy bodies and all the other energy fields that are in your local environment, and even farther than just the local, non-local as well. So when you have these familiars that are surrounding yourself, and you're starting to develop the knowledge that it is that I'm sharing within this video, you can use your daily intent to program these entities that are around you to literally do your own bidding. Now, there are going to be a lot of people that don't know this, and there are not a lot of people that will tell you exactly what it is that I'm telling you right now on this video. So obviously, if you're getting value from it, hit the thumbs up button, okay? Do that. But that's one of the main reasons why these things exist and why they primarily show up for people who are negatively polarizing. So with that being said, to fully take advantage of this phenomena, like somebody like myself who does it on a daily basis and completely gets results and value from it, you need to accept, how are you polarizing? Are you someone that claims you're a light worker? Or are you somebody that claims you're love and light? You know, are you somebody that claims you're here to heal the universe and heal other people, and that you have no selfish motives? Yet meanwhile, on the back end, you're over here cursing people subconsciously or unconsciously. You're cursing people because they upset you and they upset your ego, things of that nature. You got to be real with yourself. Who are you? What are you? And how are you polarizing? Because if you don't fully know thyself, which is one of the biggest keys within the occult, if you don't fully know thyself, and you've opened up these doorways for the negative polarity, yet you're resisting to walk the path that you've already opened up, now you're just in a stagnant position where these dark energies are actually going to attack you and affect you in an unbeneficial way, literally to wake you up to what you truly are. It's not an attack that is meaningless and something that is happening for no reason. It's happening to wake you up to what you've initiated into your own life experience. So the option is, at that point, is to walk the path. Study more about the black magician. Study more about the negative polarity. Study more about principles that can teach you how to serve yourself and build an empire in the process. How to be more ruthlessly minded, more primal in your nature, so that you're not just running around like a headless chicken, allowing everyone to tell you what to think, what to do, and trying to appease to everybody. Become your own ruler. Become your own source. Serve yourself in that sense. And this is going to start you on that process of walking down the initiatory structure of the negative polarity. Okay, this is the beginning point. This is the starting phase. And this is super important. But once again, there's not a lot of people that are like me specifically that are sharing these truths and sharing these principles and giving out this awareness specifically along the lines of the negative polarity. So there are a lot of people giving out information that is, one, false, inaccurate, inverted, and more so geared towards the positive polarity. So people are going to tell you what I'm saying right now is wrong and evil, and, turn your back to it, turn your cheek to it. It's all about harmony, love, and light, and letting go and finding that complete unity. And I understand that very much. But there's another path of soul evolution. And specifically, if you're one of those people that are seeing dark images in your reality or in your vision, you're seeing it because you opened up negative polarized doorways. Okay, this is valuable for the person who understands their polarity and walks the path consciously, walks the path with the mindset that what you fear is what you face, and what you face is what you turn into your power. Okay? Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck in that center space, always running from yourself. Okay? You're going to be running from your own shadow for the rest of your life. Okay? So that acceptance of who you truly are, as well as the knowledge of who and what you truly are, to a degree, doesn't need to be super in-depth or super complicated, to the degree where you're allowing yourself to break past the programming of saying, this is wrong or this is evil, and I'm bad for doing this because religion told me so, or my parents told me so, or my friends say this is not good, or this YouTube channel told me I shouldn't do it. You're never going to know what's inside the dark room and the potential treasure that it has in that room if you're always listening to what people are saying about the dark room, especially if they're telling you the dark room is evil and demonic, and that if you go inside of it, you're going to get locked in. And once again, I'm not saying there's not risks to spiritual evolution, specifically even with the negative polarity. Absolutely, there's risks. But there's risks with not evolving either. There's actually much bigger risks when you're not choosing an evolutionary direction, or when you're not choosing an evolutionary path. And in this case, if you've opened up these doorways to see shadow people, and they're in your life now, you have one choice really, and that's to walk the path. So I'm just here now giving some clarity on what's happening and where it is that you're probably headed if you're watching this video and you're resonating with some of the things that I'm talking about. Okay? So with that being said, to wrap it up, it's not a bad thing whatsoever. It's power. It's potential. There's a lot of value that you gain from this. Take advantage of it. You now have your own personal entities that literally are serving your intent. Okay? Not everyone has that. Not everyone can tap into that power. Be thankful that this is in your life. And once again, start to accept it. Start to embrace it. Start to understand it. Do your own research. Study my YouTube channel. Gain the perspectives that I talk about, because that will teach you how to serve yourself. And then these entities that you think may be harming you or attacking you will actually start to serve you. It's just all starting from within yourself. And you first need to understand basically who and what you are and where you're headed generally. Okay, just generally. All right? With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you enjoyed this video, and if you most importantly gain value from it, come down here and hit that thumbs up button. Okay, hit the thumbs up button, because I'm trying to spread this content so that other people can get turned on to it. Okay, ultimately so I can increase my YouTube channel, build up my empire, and obviously help other people serve themselves. Okay? Now, also come down here and hit that notification bell, because I post videos as often as I can, and obviously with content like this, you absolutely do not want to be missing out. So hit the notification bell and get notified whenever I post. Okay? Also come down here and hit the subscribe button, because if you're not yet subscribed to my channel and you're continuously consuming my content, then I promise you are making a very, very big mistake. And the reason is because if you hit that subscribe button, you're literally further linking into my information. You're getting more value from it. There really is a psychic principle to that. So if you want to get the most bang for your buck, subscribe. If not, forget about it. Okay? The next thing I want to say is that you have my full permission to copy and paste this link and send it out to anybody. Family, friends, social media platforms, you name it. You have my full permission to send out this information. Okay, my intention is to spread this content like a wildfire and to increase my empire in the process, and that is exactly what has been taking place. Okay, now I want to take your awareness to right down here. This is literally where you can add me on Instagram. It's super easy to type in JER_477. Check me out on social media platforms. Also, if you want to join a private Facebook community, you can go into the YouTube description, that little arrow drop down. Once again, scroll down. You're eventually going to see a post that says private Facebook community. Underneath of that, there's a link. Follow where that link takes you, and then you can request to join within the private Facebook community, where there are over 600 members, and there are people that are posting on a daily basis. Okay? There is tons of valuable information that is getting posted within this private Facebook community. And I'm telling you that from personal observation. So if you want to join, you now know what to do. Okay? We'll leave it there. Now, I am going to take your awareness to literally the most important link within the entirety of the YouTube description. Click that little arrow drop down right down there. It's the first link at the top. You can't miss it. This is where you can join my Patreon. Okay? On my Patreon, I have an entire vault of exclusive occult content. None of this content is on my public YouTube channel, and that is for many different intentional reasons. The content is strategically meant for people that are investing more time and energy into their personal practice and studies. Okay? I have content that is very similar to this video, giving out tons of valuable information. I have content in the form of live streams that are question-answer format, super valuable, tons of valuable information again. Then I have practical content, which is actually me teaching fundamental occult practices to get your own hands and feet wet. All these different avenues are more advanced and more personal than what you're getting on my public YouTube channel, okay? Then as you move into tier 3 and up, you're gaining access to an entire magic training course, which I feel like would be extremely valuable, especially if you're a beginner occultist and you're looking for a structured format to follow to start developing your psychic capabilities, okay? Very valuable, tier 3 and up. Then as you move into tier 4, this is the top tier of the Patreon. This is not just the top tier, this is also the most popular tier of the Patreon, and that alone speaks for itself, okay? This is what I call the Universe-B Vampire Service. So what this means is that this is a ritual that I perform on the 29th of every single month on the new participants as well as the existing participants, okay? And what I do is I perform this ritual to completely change your energetic structure to be more so Universe-B dominant, which basically means increases your negative polarity. That's why you can receive the service multiple times, and every time you receive it, it's going to increase your power, okay, your negative polarization. So what this means is that these individuals that get the service now have an ability to exist within the darker energy locations of our multiverse without being harmed by them, but rather developing knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and potential power from them instead. Okay, it's like a reverse of energy. These individuals also have an ability now to be more so receptive to their unconscious and their subconscious mind, which is feminine in nature, one of the keys to the negative polarity. And they also gain a psychic capability, which is the ability to pull in energy from dark energy and chaos in their environments to transmute into their own power and evolutionary potential. Okay? If this is something that you gravitate towards, if this is something that you feel is intuitively something that you should take advantage of, definitely do so. Once again, it's the 4th tier, top tier, first link in the YouTube description. We're going to leave it there. Okay? Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a special shout out to everyone who is a Patreon member, specifically for taking your knowledge, practices, and your studies really to that other side. Huge shout out. Okay? Now, as we move into the second link, this is where you can book your own personalized, very unique tarot card reading from me, which I promise you have never received before. Okay? The reason is because I'm a professional occultist. I understand the Kabbalistic tree way more than the average person. So what I can do is I can literally pinpoint exactly where you are on that Kabbalistic structure. I can tell you what you're feeling, experiencing, and going through in the present moment, and then tell you what to expect moving into the near and long-term future based all on your positioning on that Kabbalistic tree and how you're traveling through it. Okay? Very valuable information. I've done well over 650 readings. I've been doing this for over a year. I do a reading every single day. I'm going to do a reading right after this video. And I get tons of valuable feedback. So if this is something you want to take advantage of, it's the second link below. Okay? Now, also within the same second link below, you can book one-on-one calls with me. So if you want to have an hour-long conversation through video chat or through FaceTime, we can do that. I now have an option where you can book these one-on-one calls with me. And I even have an option within that same area, within the second link, that will give you an ability to book mentorship with me. So I have mentorship programs that go from 6 weeks long, and then ones that go all the way up to 3 months long for people that are really taking their practices to that next degree. Okay? So if this is something that you're interested in, and you want to take advantage of it, this is something that is brand new to my YouTube channel. This is a service that I previously didn't have public. People still have booked calls with me, but it was more so not as public and not as professional. Now it's professional. You set up an appointment, and we can get that set up right off the bat. Okay? So once again, if that's something you want to take advantage of, you're going to find that at the second link below as well, right where those tarot card readings are. Okay? We'll leave it there. Now, as we move into the third link, this is where you can become a YouTube member. Okay? As you become a YouTube member, you're gaining access to many different types of benefits. Specifically, you're joining into the YouTube membership community, which is very valuable. You get special shout-outs when I do live streams, which is wonderful. You have an ability to leave questions every single month when I do live streams that appear in the same format as a super chat, which I always cover, which is very valuable. But most importantly, you're gaining access to what I call the Psychic Warfare Emoji Program. Okay? So what this is this is a sequence of emojis that I've designed myself that are based on real occult principles. And you can use them in a specific configuration and then link in the name of a target, hit enter, and it will actually cause psychic effect on your target. Okay, this is the most simple form of utilizing psychic warfare through the internet platform. There are almost 2,000 posts at this point in time of individuals who have taken advantage of this service. There are even individuals right now that are doing it. Okay, if this is something you want to take advantage of yourself, then definitely look into it. Third link below. Join and become a YouTube member. Okay? With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly where I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate all of you very, very, very much. And I will see you in the very near future. Peace.